Well, hello, and welcome to my herb garden for a brief garden update before I start hacking all this stuff back. I need to do some harvesting, some washing, and some drying. And before I did that, I decided I should probably do an update, which I've been avoiding. Just not been motivated at all. But here we are. So we've got this impromptu chamomile pot, which is actually the chive pot. You can see them growing down here. They're doing okay. Some clover is trying to invade it. The chocolate mint is starting to fill out. Looking good. The thyme, which has been growing like crazy since winter, really needs to be cut back. So maybe I'll put a photo in of the after if I remember to take one. Strawberry mint also needs to be snipped a little bit. It's really filled out nicely. Apologize, it is Canada Day. There's a lot of traffic, which is why I have the time to actually do this. There's just going to be traffic noise. The orange bomb is filling. The lemon bomb is way behind, but still living. The savory also needs to be cut back. There's some weeds growing in there. This oregano is really starting to pop up. The rosemary is also starting to finally put some growth out with the heat. Summer today is actually a pretty cool, breezy day, which is nice for the holiday because everyone's out doing stuff. No one wants to get overheated. I'm not sure what's going on with that variegated thyme. It doesn't seem to be doing great. My sage went full flower on me. So that's kind of the situation we're dealing with there, but it's still growing nicely. Once I cut this back, and I think I'm going to rip these chamomiles out. I got to harvest some of this. I think it might be past harvest time, but oh well, we'll see what happens with it. The hops have way outgrown their trellis, which is like 20 feet. They're starting to sprout off the top. No actual hop cones yet, though. In the garden itself, one of my peas are starting to weave themselves into the fence. This one I have absolutely abandoned trying to weed. You can see carrots in here. The peas are getting really big, and they're putting out lots of flowers now, so we should have some peas soon. They've reached the top of the trellis, that one anyways. Down in here, we've got some of the original lettuce that was planted. This is, I think, the baby romaine, which never kind of flushed out. The spinach just kind of died back. All of the onions are starting to fall over. But you can see the difference. This is a walking onion. It produces bulbs at the top. This is a regular green onion. It produces a flower head at the top. This one is so tall. I don't know how it hasn't fallen over yet. But basically, they form the heads. They fall over, like this one has. And then the head makes contact with the ground, which I threw one down here that I chopped off. And then it will root and it will grow a new onion. And that's what happens. It's really hard to see see if I can make the contrast. No, that's not helping. So we'll just ignore that for now and move to the next side. This one is looking a lot kind of more gardeny. All those little sprouts are lettuce. You can see the cucumbers starting to come up, and the other original lettuces are all growing really well now, and the carrots. And the oregano, which also needs to be cut back because it is also a monster. And some of the flowers I planted have started to grow. Here you can see some nasturtiums. And there's probably calendula in there and other stuff. I can't remember exactly what I planted. This savory pot is also just as full as the other one. And the peppermint is filling out still. This hyssop is full flower. The flowers are actually starting to die back a little bit. And it's got some new sprouts coming up at the bottom. Once I cut this back, I'm sure we'll fill out the planter nicely. Let's go to the berry patch really quickly. Okay, I weeded in here yesterday so you can actually see the path. The currants have been ripening and being stolen by the birds, but I was able to eat some of them yesterday. Oh no, oh no! Okay, this is a problem, and it wasn't like this yesterday, or I just didn't notice it when I was weeding because there was so much weeds. But I'm looking for a caterpillar. Oh, that's not a caterpillar, but that could be what is eating the leaves. I don't really see any other. Oh, this one. Okay, I'm not really seeing any of the caterpillars, so I think something. These are the culprit. Softfly larvae caterpillars. See that? My nemesis. Crush them. Feed them to the chickens, but they're like way over there, and I just don't have the time. So now I have to check all the leaves, because this is why you can't see them. See that? In there, that little tiny caterpillar blends into the leaf. And they just devour all of the leaves. So now I'm going to have to come do that before I start harvesting. This is my basil. A lot more of the purple basil has spread it than the green basil. But that's okay. It's still doing really well. So I'm happy with that. This grass out of here. Okay. Blueberries. Tons of blueberries. None of them ripe yet. The herb pots are doing good. I cut back a bunch of those flowers yesterday. Everything was a little bit demolished in here just because of the weeding that happened. Strawberry, this one's doing really good. We've harvested a couple strawberries off of it. This one hasn't put out any flowers yet, but it was surrounded by weeds, so there's a lot of flies in here today. This blueberry also has blueberries on it. Raspberry nest. No raspberries yet. The grapevine is out of control completely. I hacked the comfrey back. I left one really tall piece. You can kind of see just how tall this plant was. And it was just taking up this whole space. So we needed to cut it. I've dropped some of it. You can see it's already starting to break down. The rest of it is in a pile with all the creeping Charlie out here. But you can see the grapevines are starting to grow together, so we're going to have to figure out an additional solution for those. But for right now, that's all. This orange bomb is getting really big. See some more currants under here, almost ripe. Just getting ready there. This branch has no leaves on it, which is not good either. Oh, look. See, they eat the currant as well. Stupid little caterpillars. To collect them and give them to the chickens in a bucket or something. Yeah, so I'll break this here, and eventually I'll jump down to the orchard and show you the crazy pumpkin growth that we have. And we got some yarrow in here, hiding in amongst this veg vine and this tall grass. There's yarrow everywhere. It grows wild here like a weed. And a lot of this fleabane, especially in our other raspberry patch. I'm going to harvest some of this as well and try it for a tea, because they say you can do that, but it smells really sweet. Actually, it just kind of smells like grass because my hands are all grassy now. But yeah, so peace out. I interrupt this garden tour for a brief message from the kitchen. I harvested some of the herbs. This is the time that has been washed and is now drying. This is the time that is left to be washed. There was so much of it, I had to wait because I had all the other things I had to do as well. So over here we have the summer savory, the regular kind, like the regular height one. I haven't harvested the midget one yet. And then here I have what I've harvested of the strawberry mint. And my kitchen smells delicious. Right now it smells a lot like the strawberry because that's the last thing that I washed. But just drying them now. And by washing, if you haven't seen my peppermint processing video, I just rinse them like in a bowl. I have like a bowl that they were in and then a bowl that has water in it. Just kind of put them in, switch them around, take them out just to get off any bugs or loose dirt. Then after they're dry, before I bundle them to hang them, to preserve them, I'll go through and I'll pick out any leaves that are damaged. Yeah, so now I guess we're probably going to go to the orchard footage.
And hello, this is voiceover book cutting in for once again because I didn't actually go back and film the orchard footage this week. I got super distracted with stuff in the house and trying to manage all those freaking herbs that I harvested that I didn't actually go back and film the orchard footage. The good news is I've already filmed the next garden update, which is what I did right before editing this one. So I do have orchard footage from the next week. So you will get to see the progress on the squash and the pumpkins, which is insane as I described it previously. I think that was the word that I used. So yeah, so you'll see that next week along with what the herb pots look like now that I've harvested a bunch. I did also harvest some chamomile and some of the fleabane, so I guess I'll see how that stuff tastes as a tea eventually. And that is all for this week's garden update. And I will see you in the next one. Also, if you're just hanging on here for a second, if you're looking for a book update, that's coming soon. I just haven't had the time to sit down and film one. Those take a little bit more time than the garden updates because I can just walk around and like shoot my mouth off and, and do that really quick. But the book updates take time. I have to sit down, I have to set the desk, I have to think about what I'm going to say in advance. And so that is coming, and I'm sorry there's been such a long wait if you're waiting for one of those. And thanks. Bye.